Would you trade in your Harley Davidson for one of the big four Japanese manufacturers? Let's say Kawasaki. Would you do it? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well in these testing times. So this is a very simple question. Would you trade in your Harley Davidson, your pride and joy, and go over to a Japanese brand? Go over to somebody like Kawasaki. Now, I've always been a big fan of Kawasaki. Not only do I think the name sounds great, it sounds angry. The bikes are usually pretty on the limit as well. But I've got to say, they've got a great range of bikes as well. From obviously the hyper sports bikes, which are the H2R is just a fantastic bike. The lesser version, but still amazing, the H2, which is brilliant as well. Then obviously we've got the super sports, the Ninjas, the ZX-10RR, wow. The Ninja ZX-6R, the Ninja 650, the Ninja 400, the Ninja 125. They've got sports bikes in all the different CC classes. Amazing. What about the sports tourers? The Ninja 1000 SX, the Ninja H2 SX, or one of my favorites of all time, the Kawasaki ZZR 1400. Perhaps you're more into your adventure bikes, the very capable Versys 1000, or the little brother, the Versys 650. What about the Super Nakeds? Basically sports bikes without the fairing. Let's look at some of their modern classics. The Z900, the Z900 RS, the Cafe Racer, the W800. Perhaps coming from a Harley Davidson, you're more interested in the cruiser motorcycles. Well, they've got that covered too. The Vulcan S. What about you just getting into riding and you want to do a bit of street riding, urban riding? What about their range of scooters? The J300, the J125. Perhaps you're more into your off-road antics with their motocrosses, the KX450, the KX250, the KX85, or the KX65. What about their enduro bikes? The KX450X, KX250X, KLX110, and they are bringing out a 300cc bike as well, just like many of the other manufacturers. Now, my point here is this. I've just taken a random motorcycle manufacturer that is of comparable size to Harley Davidson. They're certainly not the biggest Japanese motorcycle manufacturer. In fact, they're sitting in 4th position in terms of size and unit sales. But just look at the range of motorcycles that they produce. Look at the quality that they produce. Now, this has always been one of my big criticisms of Harley Davidson. They're just too rigid in what they do and what they produce. And perhaps now, with the likes of the Pan America and this new liquid-cooled engine, they can start to diversify. Now, I'm certainly not saying that they start producing sports bikes or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that they can start producing motorcycles of different engine capacities and maybe just tap into different markets as well. Why not? What have they got to lose? They're still going to be able to produce the bikes for the traditional Harley Davidson fans, but they've got to keep an eye on the future and what's coming. And only producing motorcycles for, let's say, the over 40s who may be a little bit more cash rich, that can afford these expensive motorcycles. Actually, they're cutting off a whole market and the next generation of rider as well. And this is what other manufacturers have not done. They've got entry-level motorcycles. In fact, if you take the likes of Honda, it's their entry-level motorcycles. They're of the bread and butter. That's the ones that earn them the most money. So why Harley Davidson don't do this? Why don't they even produce motorcycles with a slightly smaller engine? They've tried it with the streets, with the 500, the 750. That didn't quite work. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they should just stop. And perhaps now with this new engine, this Revolution Max engine, maybe they can just start producing motorcycles for a 500cc, a 700cc. Maybe they can come out with a few different styles. Maybe they can start looking at the technology that they use in the chassis on the Pan America, let's say, and start using that to start producing more lightweight bikes as well. The question is, would you ever move away from a Harley Davidson or any other motorcycle for another brand that offers a lot more variety of their motorcycles? Now, obviously, it's going to be a very subjective thing. It really depends what bikes they have on offer and do they produce a bike that really interests you. Now, I've got to say, from my point of view, Kawasaki definitely do. They've always produced motorcycles that I've always been interested in, and it could be some of their smaller bikes or even some of their bigger bikes as well. They've got a nice variety, but they're of comparable size to Harley Davidson, let's say. So it'd be interesting to see the future of Harley Davidson and see if they can start coming up with a bit more variety, a bit more different styles of bikes. And now they've dipped their toe in the water with the Pan America, maybe if they can carry that on. But let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you think of the future of Harley Davidson. Should they make their range a lot more varied, different engine sizes, entry-level motorcycles? Do you think they should be like a Kawasaki, let's say, for example, or any other type of manufacturer? Or do you think they should be purely what their traditional fans like? They should only have the old V-twin engines. You know, they've come out with the live wire, but obviously maybe that may not be a success. The Pan America may be a success. Maybe it's time for a big change at Harley Davidson. Maybe the future is coming a lot sooner than other people thought, and maybe this is the time when Harley Davidson become a real powerhouse in the motorcycle world for producing varied motorcycles, not just one type of motorcycle. Right, let us know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Content and creator course there, membership area there. Go check it out. Ta-da!